What's up, YouTube? You're Inside the Edge, and I'm back with another video. Thank you guys for tuning in. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. I got you guys covered with NBA content, NFL content, and with college basketball starting, I will be posting a lot of college basketball highlights. As far as top draftees, NBA mock draft picks, I will be posting a lot of college highlights. So with that being said, if you like college hoops, this is the channel for you guys. But today I want to talk about the Minnesota Vikings. I want to talk about Joshua Dobbs. This guy is a superstar in the making. Some of us seen what he did with the Cardinals. He played the start of the season with the Cardinals, had the big win versus the Cowboys. He ended up, fast forward, guys, he ends up getting traded to the Vikings. He lands with the Vikings on a Wednesday. And next, he suited up to play on a Sunday. And his name was called, guys. Jaren Hall. A lot of us feel bad for him because the Minnesota Vikings was prepping him to be the starting quarterback moving forward. But with the injury he faced, it just seems like Joshua Dobbs was the man up, and this guy winged it. This guy went out there and performed at a high level, and I think a lot of Viking fans was really surprised because at this point, it's like, what do you guys have to lose? I think with Kirk Cousins, being out for this team, I think this team is like still trying to find answers for how to get this team up and going. And I think they might have found their answer in Josh Dobbs. One thing that really impressed me was his mobility to run with the football. I think that was, I believe he was the reason why the Vikings beat the Falcons. It was just an unbelievable performance from Josh Dobbs. And just seeing what he did against the Falcons, he completed 66.7% of his passes. He threw for 158 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. So just seeing what Joshua Dobbs, what he does on the football field, I think moving forward, this Vikings team is gonna build around them. I think Kevin O'Connell, I think he's gonna try to build this offense around them. I know versus the Falcons, there was a lot of simple plays, a lot of play action passes, a lot of rollout passes. They kept it pretty simple for the most part on offense. So, for him to get an extra week to prepare his mind and get used to the playbook, I wonder what Kevin O'Connell is going to do moving forward with Dobbs, because he's just such an incredible, quarterback. Like I said, guys, one takeaway that I get from him, from just watching him throughout this season, is his ability to avoid pressure and to avoid sacks. As an NFL quarterback, you have to avoid sacks. Those are plays where you just can't get negative yards. And one thing about Dobbs is he never gives up on a play. One thing as well I seen with the Falcons was, there was no PR for him. There was no preparation. So this Falcons team pretty much was caught off guard where he was just running all over this Falcons defense. I believe he led that game in running yards with 65 yards on the ground. There was no quarterback spy, so he pretty much took advantage of that. One thing else with Dobbs is his mechanics is nice, his throwing motion, the way he can release the ball out of his hand quickly. He has all the tangibles to be a NFL starting quarterback. But my question is with the Vikings is, what are they going to do moving forward with Dobbs as far as how will they use him? Are they going to use a lot of quarterback keeper plays? How much will they allow him to use his legs running the football? And I do think that and just to kind of wrap up this video right now, is I want to say the Vikings still has a chance to make the playoffs, guys. I do think that the Vikings, currently right now in the NFC North, the Vikings is 5-4, right behind the Lions at 6-2. So I definitely think that there can be a run towards the end of the season where, we can see if the Minnesota Vikings can be the division leaders. That's just something that can possibly happen, guys. With Dobbs, I also know that the Vikings is kind of banged up. Their team offensively, they're like really banged up. Obviously, with Justin Jefferson, he's out. I'm looking at KJ Osborne. This is a guy that, he got hurt last week versus the Falcons. Malik Knowles, receiver, he's out. So it's been a lot of pieces on this offense that is not available for this team. Cam Akers just went down with another Achilles injury. So they're down another running back. So with health, that is my concern with the Vikings. But I do think that they can still make a run in this division. I know the Lions is up and going. The Lions are playing stellar football right now. But I think the Vikings still has some pieces in Jordan Addison. And if KJ Osborne does come back, I definitely think he could be beneficial. TJ Hawkinson, he's still there. So I definitely think that Hobbs has, weapons to work with. And even with lack of weapons, like I said, guys, I mean, he's just a quarterback where if there's no one open, he's just going to use his legs and pick up first down yardages. That just looks like that's his style. So for you Vikings fans, I want to know what you guys think about Dobbs and what he can do, moving forward for this Vikings team. I know the Vikings are banged up, but I still think that the Vikings can make a push to go for that, make the playoffs. They're second in their division, and, it's going to be a race in this NFC North. The Packers are currently 3-5, and the Bears are 2-7. So the Vikings they have a good chance. In my opinion, I think they have a 30% chance as of right now to make the playoffs. The Vikings won 4 straight games, and just looking at who they have to play moving forward, they have to play the Saints, the Broncos, the Bears, and the Raiders. I think those are winnable games for the Vikings. So we'll have to see, guys. So with that being said, I want to hear your guys' thoughts. How you guys feel about the Vikings making the playoffs? With Josh Dobbs, do you think he's the quarterback? I want to hear your guys' opinion for you Vikings fans. So until next time, guys, have a good day. I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.